Hey, welcome to the Weekly Social, folks. Today we have the lovely Priscilla Pfaff with Select Title. Thanks for coming out today, Priscilla.
Thank you, Richard.
Yep. We also have Jake Fisher working behind the camera today. He's going to be asking us questions, and we're going to be taking questions off the live feed. So if you have any questions, please send them in there under the comments, and you'll hear us answer them live.
Sounds like a great idea. I think everybody's got a lot of questions in what's going on right now.
Yep.
What are you hearing out there?
Well, we're 70 episodes deep now.
Yes. That's just amazing. I can't believe we're 70 of these. Wow.
And we're almost 70 days before the end of the year, so that's why I brought that up.
Oh, that's interesting.
So fourth quarter's always been my best quarter in real estate, historically. There was only one anomaly to that, but that was during COVID, which that was unprecedented times.
Yes, sir.
But I can tell you that I've seen a huge uptick, and we're going to have a great year's end. And I believe Q1, for the people that are in down areas, it will pick up and then some historically after the election.
Right. So it has been, a little different this year. I think part of it was it wasn't per se a hurricane that we had in June, but it did some damage around here. We lost a lot of electricity, and it just kind of set things, just kind of lulled things for a little bit.
And then barrel.
Yes.
It was a 1-2 punch.
And oh my gosh, we reach out to all y'all in Florida and North Carolina, and oh my goodness, we can't even imagine. And so talking about that, since I went there, which he was on one of our podcasts earlier in the year, Dada Khan with Your Move reached out to me, and he's taken an 18-wheeler to all those hurricane victims. We are filling up that 18-wheeler, and so we're trying to do this. Of course, it was going to be yesterday, but then with the next one hitting them this week, we delayed it till next Thursday.
Okay.
So drop off things here at Select Title, 23930 West Hummer Parkway, Katy, Texas, 77494. Call us 832-356-3235. Bring those donations, non-perishable food items, hygiene products.
Just anything that can help people that lost everything.
Pet supplies, diapers,
Formula.
Yes. I picked up some blankets this week. I picked up baby wipes. Things like that. Guys, just think about, what do you need the most when you don't have electricity?
When you lost everything?
Yes.
A couple days, a week ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Sad.
So, anyhow, we're doing that with Your Move, and so please bring your items and let's fill up that 18-wheeler.
Yep. Come on down, drop them off. Select Title will be happy to help unload.
Yes.
And get it all shipped over there.
Yes. So that's it's huge. I just can't even imagine what those people are going through.
Well, and thank you for stepping up and doing that.
Oh, thank you, Dada.
Yeah.
That man has such a huge heart. Huge heart.
Very good man.
Yes. So he is always about giving back and doing things for others.
And so are you.
Well, thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. So are you. Mm-hmm.
I try.
Yeah, we just did the Alzheimer's.
We did.
And then what's next?
Thank you for supporting us on that. The next launch is right at Thanksgiving. We do the CAPS Animal Shelter, which is Citizens for Animal Protection. And then we also do the fundraiser for Boys and Girls Country out in Waller, which we had them on earlier this year.
Yes, what an amazing place. And I loved it when his son sat in and kind of answered some of those questions for the Boys and Girls Country.
He did.
He was amazing. What was he, 9 years old?
9 or 10.
Yeah.
But he carried himself like an old soul.
Yes, and he loves being out there and helping the others and participating with everything going on out there.
They live out there,
yeah.
and they help foster these kids and give them homes and meals and sitting down at the table and just a family environment.
I think it was in June that we did that, because I think it was right after not the hurricane, but the the one that hit us in June that, took our electricity and stuff down.
Right. Which they had a generator, he said.
Well, their facility that the kids play, where they play basketball and all that,
facility.
was made really kind of for that. Yeah. And so it was interesting because he said they didn't reach out to them because they knew they were in good shape.
They were already okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Which we've been out there numerous times delivering stuff. What a beautiful, beautiful place for kids to be in.
Yes. Yes. They make such a difference in so many lives. So.
Yep.
So good. I'm glad we got that going again. Again, Select Title will be a drop off. No, we have several other locations that you do.
Yes. The Brass Tap will be another one. And then if you need somebody to pick it up, give us a call.
Yeah, let us know. We'll come
I
get
drive around all the time.
So, some big things coming up. It's that time of year for giving.
All time of year's time for giving. A lot of people forget that, though.
Yes, 100% it is. Because you just never know. Just like a friend of mine called me yesterday, gotten out of the hospital. He's single, lives by himself. And I was talking to him and I was like, do you have some food there? He's like, well, not really. I'd have to cook something. Somebody's going to bring me something tomorrow. So I went to HEB last night and took him some of those dinners. So that would be easy for him.
This is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
So, supporting causes.
Yes, exactly.
I have the pink on today.
You do have the pink on. And, the Ballard House is such a big helper with so many families also that are going through cancer and stuff, which we've had Dave Brown on the podcast.
Yes. Great young man.
And so,
We did a blood drive there.
Yeah, we did. Yes.
I plan on piggybacking and doing that again.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good. Real good turnout. And a lot of people that never had seen the Ballard House itself.
Most people don't even know what it is.
Yeah. See what it is, and when you walk in there and know how many lives that place touches is just unbelievable. So, I look forward to that.
Another quick snippet. I'm going to give a plug in. We are going to do a client appreciation event. Yes. November 14th. Remind me of the hours, Priscilla.
6 to 8.
6 to 8. So,
yes.
So all of Red Lion Realty's past and present clients, and even future ones, we're going to put an event on for you guys at Park Place in Katy, Texas, and there'll be more to come. But we're just giving a little snippet and drop
out there. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I like it. So that'll be a fun day.
It will.
Really a celebration.
Very family orientated. It'll be a good time.
Come get your pictures in the photo booth.
DJ.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And a cool venue.
It is.
Which we both got to experience.
We got to experience that with a wonderful comedian out of New York City.
Yeah,
it was fun.
That was real fun. And Richard was our MC for that.
I was.
And did an amazing job.
I'm glad you said that.
Oh, you did. You did.
It was fun.
But wasn't that saxophone player? She was amazing.
Oh, she was phenomenal.
And you know what she told me after the event? My saxophone's just not working right. And I said, don't you have a backup when you need to put one in and you have the other one to use? And she's like, no. Because you get used to that equipment, instrument and everything. And she's like, no, but I got to get it fixed. And I'm like, we couldn't tell that there was any problems with that saxophone.
She sounded really good.
Oh, she was amazing. Amazing. And so was our comedian. She was hysterical. That was a good night. So lots of good things going on in Katy, Texas. And what are you seeing, some things that are coming up or in real estate? And how are your open houses?
A good open house in today's market, we're back to like 2017, 2019 era. Just to give people some insights. So if we see 4 families or more at an open house today, I deem that a great open house.
100%.
I mean, I've had open houses where there's 80 families in 2 hours, and that's like a stampede.
Oh, wow. And then
you have to have somebody man the door, and you only let in 2 or 3 families at a time, and you're just nuts.
Because you've got to to somewhat man that. And then, I mean, when you were doing that, then you were getting multiple contracts in, and I believe you were doing all those by spreadsheets.
I was. And then your phone's blowed up, your email's blowed up. Did we win? Did we win? And I'm like, I don't even have it all tallied yet. And everybody's like, but you're a listing agent. You're in high cotton. I'm like, no, time out. I got 8 hours of doing spreadsheets before I can even go talk to the sellers.
Yeah, so that they can see which one is the best one for them.
Exactly.
Wow, because there's so many different things to look at that you know to make sure you're plugging in.
Right. I can't tell you, and I've had tax attorneys, real estate attorneys, and they read contracts, but they don't do what I do all day, every day with them.
Right.
That's the offer I want to take, Richard. Well, hold on. Let me show you why I advise that we take this one instead. Oh my God, I'm glad you did that because that'll cost me thousands of dollars.
Yes.
'Cause they don't know where the trap doors are.
No.
Or the
but
clawbacks.
You do,
That's right.
And you know how to look at the whole picture. That's
Yes.
it. You're not just looking at one thing. You're looking at the whole picture.
The highest offer isn't necessarily your best offer.
And I think, the negotiating of that and the negotiating through the transaction, keeping everybody level and,
it's a business transaction. Both parties should walk away happy and should feel like they won.
Right. Yeah, and you do that very, very well, sir.
I try hard. Thank you.
So we love it when your customers are walking out the door here and they've got that smile on their face. Because then we know that you're going to get referred some more, which in turn helps us.
It's the boomerang effect.
Yes. Jake, any questions coming in?
Yeah, so quick question for you actually. What inspired you to start this business?
To start real estate?
Start Redline Realty. What inspired you?
Our local community deserves better. I've been practicing real estate out here since 2009. I launched the company in 2017. And I've done hundreds, if not thousands, of transactions. And I just hold the bar at a very high level. And I treat every transaction as if it was my family buying or selling the property. And that's what I instill in the agents when we represent people. And I want people to think white glove, top hat, cane, just that next level type service, because this is the largest decision the average person makes. And we get to be a part of that. And people from all over the world come to America just for the opportunity, not the guarantee for home ownership.
Right.
So it's very special. And there's a lot of different business plans out there. There's agent-centric, broker-centric. Ours is client-centric. So our primary focus is the client, and it's all about giving them the best experience possible. And that creates a lot of repeat referral business for us. And another thing that it helps us with, like you were saying, negotiating earlier, I mean, in some of those multiple offer situations, I've had agents call me up going, Richard, you don't have the highest offer, but I told the seller to take it because I know that A, it'll get across the finish line, B, it'll be seamless.
Right.
I've heard that multiple times over the years.
Yeah. And that it makes a big difference in who you work with.
It does.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, you're just a realtor. Well, wait till you get a bad one. And then wait till you experience a great one. It's like mechanics and doctors. When you have a crappy mechanic, you never go back there. Once you find a great mechanic, you don't ever leave there. It's the same thing with realtors.
Right. And talking about a doctor, a friend of mine, her daughter has not felt well for a couple of years and they hadn't really diagnosed it. And so when you say that, this new doctor that they just really liked, had his computer out and said, okay, I'm just going to take you through all this stuff. But he got right in between both of them so they could see the computer. It was warm. It was, yes.
Yeah. Somebody that cares, has a passion for what they do.
Right. So, I'm sorry,
that's awesome.
That was just a great memory. And being a mom, she felt so much better because she had somebody that really was digging in there and figuring it out.
They didn't go to a Facebook group asking questions, how do I do this?
No.
I see that all the time and I roll my eyes in the back of my head. I'm sorry.
But we want your questions today.
Yes.
Yes, please. That's what we're here for, and is to, that's what all the podcasts have been, is just get it out.
Data, it's information, value. Our primary focus is to convey value and do fundraisers and give back to our community.
And just bring in some wonderful people from our community,
and promote their business,
so that you know who's around, and that just helps tremendously. All right, Jake, anything else?
Yeah, can you, do you think you could explain the buying process from start to finish?
We don't have enough time for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just to give you a quick overview, one, the moment you think you want to own real estate, do it. Don't wait.
It's like there's never a good time to have a baby.
Right. There's same thing with real estate.
Right.
Whether you think you can afford it or not, let's get you with the lender. There's grant money. There's down payment assistance. There's programs. If you're a veteran, you can do 100% financing. There's so many different avenues, but the consumer is completely unaware of. So get with a great local realtor and a great local lender. Because, it's not click and order, guys. Because most of the click and order, it's a race to the bottom, and all they're trying to do is turn and burn to the next one. Well, when you work with somebody local that has boots on the ground and really understands the programs, the markets and stuff, that's where you're going to come out ahead.
Right.
You are.
Right.
It's going to be a way more seamless transaction.
How many homes do you show a buyer before they ultimately make a decision? What's kind of the average?
Between 5 and 20.
Okay.
If I'm showing them more than 20 homes, and I get it, it's a large decision, but in the same sentence, we need to keep, I'm missing something. Because there's only X amount of homes on the market.
Right.
And if we don't have it figured out within that 5 to 20, we need to talk. And I mean that in a positive connotation.
Right. But I mean, plus, I mean, we've evolved, and you can look at so much online now, and but you want to make sure that those top 5 things that the buyer is requesting is in that house.
85% rule is what I use. If it checks 85% of your boxes, that's typically as close as what we're going to get. If it doesn't hit 85%, then next, I get it.
Right.
But if we're 85% or higher, and typically somebody wants to be zoned to a certain neighborhood and a certain school, so your inventory is even that much more limited. I mean, the biggest hurdle I have is probably getting the eyes and stomach in alignment. Everybody wants the $1 million house with the $500,000 budget.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't create the market, guys.
No, it doesn't. But that's interesting, because I mean, I did real estate a few years ago, before I got in the title business, and I mean, at that time, we didn't have all those tools that you could sit and look at everything, and so you did go and see a lot of houses.
You used to drive them around.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore. You meet them at the house.
No. Wow.
Very rare do I have a client get in my car. Not that I'm against it. It's just very rare.
That's interesting.
Typically, it's when we're at a builder and we're going to go see the builder's inventory.
Okay.
We jump in the same car because they got construction, and less cars out there, the better.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, and then again, if you are thinking new construction, please get a realtor. Please.
100%.
All the good builders will advise you exactly what I'm saying. It's built into their marketing budget. Have somebody professional guide you through this, because that salesperson, they're there to make that builder as much money as possible. They are. And they're not going to, they represent the builder.
Right.
You have zero representation.
Right.
So
and
please.
there are a lot of, even though it's brand new, there's a lot of steps
You
to
don't
that.
know what you don't know.
Right. And having inspections and doing all those things, you need that person beside you showing you the direction.
Well, you go to a construction meeting.
get you to the
This is your
closing.
first construction meeting. What do you know about construction and new build homes? And I don't mean that badly. You can't just Google that. You need somebody like me that can walk through there, that when that superintendent's talking to you, I can intelligently listen and go, you know what, that doesn't sound right. Let's take a second look at this. Or, yep, this is absolutely normal.
Right.
So, and that experience and wisdom just comes with years of working in the field, reading the inspection reports, and doing all this stuff.
And on that note, I have a good question for you. What's your experience with negotiating offers?
With
negotiating offers?
Builders or
In
resales?
general.
You know, negotiating, it has to be win-win. You know, some people think that negotiating is like going to battle and war. And I don't advise that. Yes, I'm there to get my client the best possible outcome. But with that, you have to tee it up.
Right.
Because if I go in with a cannonball, they don't want to talk to me anymore. And then I lost the client's house. You see what I'm saying? So if I go in too low, all I did was make them mad on the other side. And at any price, nope, next. So I have to have that conversation with the buyer sometimes. You know, I understand you want to offer this. Do you really want to own this home? Then don't offer that. Here's the number I recommend.
So like you almost kind of have to put them in the seller's shoes.
That's right.
And say, okay, what?
This house is priced at $600,000 all day long, and it's priced correctly. It's $3 or $4 below what the average sales price per square foot is in the neighborhood. It's already a deal, and you want to come in 50 grand underneath that? Don't do that. You already have a deal sitting in front of you.
Right.
That's why you looked at it. That's why you asked me to show it to you, and that's why we're talking about making an offer. So we need to get our thinking up to where it makes sense, and you can take advantage of the deal that's already sitting there. And we might be able to make it a little better, but
Right.
but in the same sentence, don't get greedy.
Wow, that's huge.
You have to have conversations with
huge.
people. You do, and they don't know what they don't know.
But like you said, I mean, they're like, you know, okay, this is what I want to offer, and it's like, do you? And this has been my experience
Right.
through that, and so that's very helpful.
And then the other side of that coin is they'll fall in love with the house, and it'll be $30,000 over what it should be, and it's like we need to make sure that we get the seller down to a realistic number, because I don't think the home's going to appraise. And if you truly want it, do you have the offsets in the monies to pay above appraisal? So
See why y'all need a realtor? Very important, because they wouldn't know that.
no,
Wow, that's a lot.
Question.
sure.
What should I do to prepare my home for sale?
You know, have a realtor walk through it. A practicing realtor, not somebody that does it on a side hustle, somebody that truly knows and understands the market. When I walk into a neighborhood, I fundamentally understand that neighborhood, the price point, and what I expect to see in that home. There's a lot of times I'll walk through homes with sellers and they'll be like, this is an upgrade, this is an upgrade, this is an upgrade. And yes, when you bought it, it was an upgrade that you paid the builder. I agree, 100%. However, now we're 10 years down the road, you still have granite, and the majority of the homes in your neighborhood have converted over to quartz. You actually have a deduct, not an upgrade now.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so things like that make a difference. What else?
You know, bathrooms and kitchens. I mean, is it functional? Is it the old grandma wood oak? Have it painted cabinets? I mean, there's. And what are we seeing trending in the neighborhood?
Okay.
So I walk in and out of houses all day, every day. So I'm making mental notes or taking notes of what I expect to see in that neighborhood, so that I can convey that, so that I can get you the bang for the buck and go, we need to do this, don't do that, and then we need to do this, this, and this.
So
And then there's some people that just don't have the capital,
Right.
but I have resources for that as well. I can
Right.
get interim financing with lenders that I work with. And then there's other times that we have to sell it as a fixer-upper.
Right.
It's an as-is type deal. But we price it accordingly. So I have to have that conversation with the seller that, hey, when you got the bids and all that, that came to about $40,000. Average price of this home is $600,000. Subtract 40, that puts me at $560.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well,
Okay. But
But-
that makes a difference, but that's what is going on in the
I
market.
can't get 600 if you got to put 40 in it. Now
Right.
it's a 640 house.
Right.
And bear in mind, that buyer that's going to do all that work, they're going to want some sweat equity as well. So it's more like a 550 house.
Okay.
Well, why do you want to give up 6 months of your life and pay retail for a home? You see what I'm saying? Because you're going through that rehab. It's your time, your efforts.
Okay.
Because
That's true. I hadn't thought about that. But that makes sense.
so at So at 560, you're still paying retail because it's another 40.
Right.
Where you can go buy a 600 house,
That has
set down your
those-
furniture, and start enjoying it tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. So then you put the seller in the buyer's shoes.
Right. But those are lenses
Mm-hmm.
and lessons that I've gone through over the years. And I have all this wisdom and knowledge to share and help you so that you don't fall into those trap doors. Or why has my house been on the market for 9 months? Why isn't there nobody looking at it? Because you want 600 for a 560 house. It's not going to happen. It's.
What's your average days on market before a contract?
You know, in today's market, I'm seeing either 1 to 2 weeks or 3 months.
Okay. And there's so many different variables, just like what you just said, the reason for that to be different.
Price it correctly. Buyers are not stupid. They are very savvy today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
they're
they're
researching and they're looking and they know what's sold in that area
Yep.
if that's the area they're keyed in on.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've been before they're typically 90 days deep before they get into the market.
Right.
They're
They've just
chicken
been-
hawking it is
yeah,
what I call it.
they've
I mean,
been-
they got their eye right on
Mhm.
that market.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So-
just like we do with a vehicle, if we're going to go buy a vehicle, we're searching it, we're figuring out which one, what the prices are, and
Yeah.
so we know which direction we're going to go.
Yep.
Quick question: how do you build and manage your team?
How do I build and manage my team?
Mhm.
I'm very selective. You know, because we want the right ingredients. Is basically we have a formula. It's like pizza. You have a pizza that tastes wonderful, and I'm just going to use this as an example. Hawaiian pizza, which I don't like. It's not for me.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
But if I drop anchovies on it, what happens to it?
No, sir.
Exactly.
Move it away.
So you have to have the right people and the right ingredients.
True.
How
True.
do you-
And with that, Jake, I think you and I are fixing to switch because I think that's a great question for you to also ask or answer is why Red Lion Realty?
What attracted you to us?
Yeah.
Great question. Let me ask.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple minutes left, but no big deal. You know,
Jake Fisher here, guys.
Yep, Jake
He's the hardest working man behind the scenes for us.
Oh, big time.
I try my best. You know, Richard stood out to me. He helped my dad buy a home, and I met him at the private showing, and I told him I was getting my real estate license, and he said, just give me a call, and I did. And I don't regret it. Richard goes above and beyond,
Thank you.
and he really cares. He does a lot. It's, you can really trust Richard, I guess I could say. I feel like sometimes it's hard to trust people you don't know. But with Richard, he just goes above and beyond, and you do more than what's necessary,
Well, thanks. That means a lot. It
Well,
does.
it's true. I mean, that's why I chose this team. I think it's just a good fit for me.
So you've been with us 2 months.
A little over 2 months, yeah.
So what's your thoughts so far? Let's say your milestones after month 1 and then month 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where you started, what you thought real estate was, and then kind of as you were growing and you were learning, can you walk us through a couple milestones there?
Well, within the last 2 months, I already feel like I'm a professional and I know everything. And I don't, but I really do feel like I do. I feel like I've learned a lot. Countless times I've been close to closing a transaction and within my first 2 months. And, as a mentor and as a teacher that you are, you've taught me a lot about real estate. And because when you go to real estate school, you only know so much. You only learn so much. But then when you're actually exposed to the business and you're explaining contracts, it's a lot different. It's a lot more difficult, or it can be. But with you, it's become really easy, and it's become easy for me to speak intelligently, real estate wise. And
Good.
I feel like I have a lot more time under my belt than I really do. Like, I feel like I've been doing this for a year, but I've only been doing it for 2 months. If that makes any sense. I just feel like I
Knowledge
know.
is confidence.
Right, exactly. I just feel super confident when I'm talking to people.
Good.
And I just try to R&D what you do. So, and that's kind of what we do. Is we try to right
Rip off and duplicate.
rip off and duplicate. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Or rinse and repeat is the other one, R&R.
And I feel like that's what our team is. That's how we manage and operate our team. It's the McDonald's theory. Every Big Mac is the same. And
That's
that's
right.
what we try to do here is everyone tries to be like Richard, and we all try to have this like theme. This Red Lion Realty, Richard Luebeck theme. Of course, be yourself, but try to follow in Richard's footsteps, so that way we're all on the same page, and it's all consistent, and I think that's what a great makes a business great. It's consistency.
It is, because there's some companies out there. You can go to one person's open house, you see this. You go to another person's open house, same company, signs look totally different. I mean, you don't know who's who or what's what.
Right.
Where everything's consistent across the board, social media, advertising, everything. So everybody knows who we are and what we represent, and they know what to expect. So whether I'm hosting the open house and you get me, you're going to have the exact same level of experience with Jake hosting the open house if you get him or Shannon or Sally or Tina, because they all have a passion to push this forward, and you guys buy into the company. You know, like we're in a building. This is just boards and nails. It's the people that make the business.
Right.
So it's not just me. There's an army of people, and it's you guys that help create all this to give to the general public. So thank you.
Right. It's, you know, a race car is not worthy without gas in it. You need gas to make it move, and I feel like that's what we do. We're the fuel to this business.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, we're just, you know, it also brings this level of trust to everyone. Whenever we are all the same in a way, and we follow your footsteps, it keeps everyone on the same page.
Everybody
everyone looks more
expectations.
professional.
Right.
It just looks better, and it looks more presentable as well, and it helps you stand out. And that's another reason why I joined the team. You stand out.
And I love the trust that you just focused on.
That's a big thing.
Trust with any kind of relationship.
Right. That's one of the main things I feel like people are nervous about when they're selling their home or they're looking for a home is trust. Because notoriously, sometimes in the past in real estate, things come up later. People try to scam. There are people out there that are like that, and that's why it's hard to trust people, especially people you don't know. You know, but with us, we try to make it us as trustworthy as possible. You know, and that's
all
kind of our
business
business
is
model.
math.
Yes.
You know, in business starts with problems, but the businesses are ran with math, and that's. And if you listen to those conversations that I was having earlier, that's actually going back to the universal language of math. I understand the problems and the solutions, but I'm working through them forwards and backwards with the mathematical equation, and then but I'm sharing it with everybody so they can see how we're getting there and why it comes to this.
Right. Right.
So.
Exactly. Well, you know, another question that I actually have, I want to try and look for it here. You know, it's actually a good question that I have because I actually don't know how you do it. You know, how do you stay organized and manage your daily operations, considering you have so much? You know, you have all your listings and you're a broker and owner. How do you do it? How do you stay organized? It's almost impossible.
Time block. And I'm proactive.
Yes.
I try to stay in front of the problems. If I don't have time to do it right up the first time, I won't have time the second time. And I also put buffers in between my time blocks. And I have a stop doing list. I mean, if it's a time sucker, I stop doing it. And that list shape shifts, and my schedule shape shifts. But if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Right.
And I'm a stickler for being late. I mean, if I'm going to be 2 minutes late, I'm calling you 5 minutes before our meeting time and going, hey, I'm running 2 minutes behind, or shooting you a text. You're not there at my 10 a.m. meeting going, where's Richard? You already know before 10 a.m. that he's going to be 2 minutes late. Communication
is key, and that leads to
it
organization.
is.
And all that. And another follow-up question to that, you know, how do you maintain your work-life balance as a business owner and your personal life? How do you is there a way you mix them together, or, you know, how do you manage both of them at the same time?
Real estate's a lifestyle.
Yes.
I truly enjoy what I do. I have a passion that burns in my belly to go out and share all this wisdom, knowledge, and help people. I enjoy that. That's part of me. However, I also have to have me time. I love playing drums. I love riding motorcycles. I like taking time with my family. So there is times when I'm off the radar, is what I call it. And I just, you know, I'm human.
Right.
I mean,
you have to enjoy, you know, you have to be a human being and do things you like doing, and that actually helps later down the road with business, I believe. It helps you work harder, you know, instead of just burning yourself out, working 24 hours a day, every day of the week, and then you're burned out. You don't have, it's like training your muscles. You have to take a break.
Okay, so let's reverse that. Jake, what are you seeing in the way that you're implementing all the things that you have to do?
Right.
How are you seeing that work for you?
Well, time blocking, which is one of the things I need to do better at, is time blocking, and, you know, taking just 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just to stop for a second and loosen my jaw, loosen my shoulders, and just relax for a second, and just
That's that buffer time I was
just take
talking about.
a buffer time. And it's like working out. If you're gonna go work out, give yourself a break.
You can't work out 8 hours nonstop. You can't do
You're
it.
gonna fall. As much as we want to be robots and as much as we want to be computers and go nonstop without a break, without having to charge our batteries, we can't. We're human beings. It's impossible. And that's why I think time blocking is super important. I feel like everyone who is starting a business, they just want to be like, I'm going to do 10 hours of work a day for the first year. And it's like, on paper that sounds great, but you're going to burn yourself out super quick. And you're going to destroy yourself too. Right.
Necessary things.
Right.
For that.
And that was kind of my experience at first when I started. The first month, I feel like, I'm going to do all these things I'm going to do in one day, and I'm going to be just the best ever. It's going to work out, but I got super tired super quickly, and I had to take a break.
2 hour windows maximum.
Right.
It's 2 hours or less.
But I was excited. I mean, being a part of this team, I got to join this team.
Yeah.
I got to, you liked me, and the interview went well, and I got to join.
Of course we liked you, Jake.
Right.
We do. We like you.
Well,
you did earn your slot.
Right. Well, it made me excited. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Yes, I did it. And with that excitement, it made me want to do so much in such a short amount of time and not really take a break in just a second. So if you're starting anything new, any hobby or business, in my opinion, try to time block. Try to relax. So that way you can come back stronger.
And priorities.
You prioritize, yes, for sure.
So I prioritize my day. I mean, this has to get done. This should get done, and then this will or will not get done. So.
How long does that take you to put that together?
I do
every
it.
day?
I do my list the night before.
Okay.
And the reason why I do it the night before, and this is a great golden nugget for everybody, is I sleep on that list. So when I wake up and I go into my day, yes, it's already written down, but I'm also mentally prepared for it to waltz through the day. So it looks seamless that I'm running off and doing all this stuff.
Right.
Because I already slept through it and it's already planned out for me. Versus getting up at 6 or 7. I mean, I'm a 4:35 a.m. guy. Getting up in the morning, writing it down. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. And then, I just feel like I'm behind the whole day.
Right.
When at the end of the day, I plan out my day for tomorrow.
Proactive.
Then I'm sleep on it, and you just mentally work through a lot of the issues while you're sleeping.
There's real strategy behind it. You don't just come up with it and think reactively. You really need to think proactively, and that's what I think will help you succeed. I want to ask you one more question
Sure.
before we log off here. I got an open house to do, so
You got to get to work.
Yep, we all do.
Prospecting, yay!
Absolutely. What personal qualities do you think that you have that have helped you succeed in business, not just real estate, in all business, or just in your life? What qualities do you think that you have that have helped you come so far?
Authentic,
Yes.
genuine, and I truly care about people. You're not a number.
Right. Exactly.
So
Authenticity and just
I may say something that you don't want to hear, but I promise you it's the truth, and I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings. I mean, I'm saying that to help you. I mean, because what's your best friend always going to do? They're always going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not.
If there's a stain on your shirt, point out the stain and don't let that
Yeah,
person
if
walk
I
around
got
with
something
it.
green in my teeth, please tell me, Jake. I mean,
Not hurting your feelings.
That's
something,
right.
Something green in your teeth. Get it out.
Exactly.
Make you better. So yeah, I think being authentic, and I actually agree with that. I think being
Thank you.
authentic has helped you come so far. Do so much. But other than that, do you have any questions, Priscilla?
No, I think that they're seeing your authenticity
Right.
come through too,
Yeah.
sir.
That's a
So,
huge thing. Don't
yeah.
be fake. Just be real.
Yeah.
Be a
Yeah,
serious
the
person.
fake it till you make it. Nah, I'm not a believer in that.
That only, that's a saying that's
That'll
passed
take
around.
you so far.
But yeah, you're faking it. Just be real.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like it. Forget them. You can't just be yourself. Be yourself. But yeah, other than that, I think, is there any other questions?
Don't know. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in this week. We will see you next Friday. We appreciate you supporting our channel and the 3,000 to 4,000 views that we get weekly, guys. So thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank you very much.